What is up, you guys? The Fallout What If here, and today I'm doing a new What If. Even though I said I wasn't supposed to do another What If until I finished my old ones, I played a game called Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it talked about Spartans and stuff. Not only that, I was also I was also thinking about Iron Man at that time. So I was just cross-referencing different things and different things in general, seeing what I can do today, or if there was an idea that sparked in my head. And I thought of this. With the help of Diomedes Rouge, shout out to Patrick, shout out to Lasto, shout out to Loki. He helped out a tiny bit, but that tiny bit was still good. So I thought of this. What if Deku was the Iron Spartan? Or if you guys want to say, what if Deku had... Well, I actually don't know, to be honest. What if he met Tony Stark? There's a bunch of different names, but I think the Iron Spartan, or possibly what if he just met, Iron Man or Tony Stark and thought about becoming a Spartan. So let's get into this. Well, during the whole MCU universe fight with Thanos and, Tony Stark, they both had a huge fight. And basically this led to Iron Man's death. And you know what, just shout out to Iron Man because he was pretty good. Robert Downey Jr. I wouldn't choose anyone else besides him to actually play the role. But anyway, he died, and once he died, he thought to himself, well, if anything, I wished I lived a little longer and had some kids of my own. I don't know, I forgot if he had kids with, I forgot Iron Man's, girl. I really forgot, hold on here, I forgot, but I forgot if they were going to actually, if they had a child or if the woman was pregnant. Just if you guys know about it, just tell me, because I just had a little brain fart. So anyway, he just thinks to himself, I really wish I would have talked to Peter a little bit more about this. I wish, oh gosh, sorry about that. Hold on. He says, I wish I would have gotten that out of the way. I wish I would have talked to them more. I truly wish I could have relived that life. I wish I could have found something more. I truly wish I wouldn't die. Just wishing he had more time. But life works in mysterious ways. So does reincarnation. But we'll get to the reincarnation in a couple of seconds here. Once he dies, Tony Stark is revived. Or is just alive again. But in a different universe. Everybody is trying to find out who is this man. And everyone's looking at him when he's in his suit. So, people thought if he was a hero, or thought to themselves, who is this man? And after a couple of, months of waking up, he finds out that he's alive. But he's not in his world. You see, because he used the stones, and this is just going to be I don't know if this is lore-based or me just wanting to, make some kind of rule up, but when you die using the stones in a specific world, you can no longer be in that world due to the fact that if that was the case, the stones will prevent you from doing that because you used them. Kind of like how the Chaos Emeralds are somewhat alive. I'm just thinking of, the stones being alive and having a will of their own. Because if you think about it, they kind of do have a will of their own. Just think about this for a minute here. You have stones that can literally have the power to do anything. I would think some kind of power like that would be alive. But anyway, after all that, Tony Stark is awake and alive. So he starts to just do the one thing he knows how to do. Build his empire, become the billionaire once again. Have everything, done with... Oh yeah, and not only that, make his suits. Because... I'm thinking about that. He's going to make his prototype suit first, since right now he doesn't have the materials. Then after that, remember how to do it again, because he did take a hit on the head, and Jarvis is not working right now. Although he does replant some of the systems that Jarvis had in his old suit, and now Jarvis is back alive. But every time that happens, basically his suit gets better and better, making him a multi-millionaire playboy or billionaire. Who knows, to be honest, because this is Tony Stark. So, after all that, basically, months later, well, we cut off to Deku. Oh yeah, Tony Stark is the #1 hero where he's at in America. He goes to different places to make deals and stuff. Not only that, there has been a couple of people who've like tried to take the role of they try to take the role of as Tony Stark's partner or something like that, but no one can actually fill the role. Tony is very, picky, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I'm going to actually use up 1 minute right now, so until it's like 8. But for a lot of you guys who says that Iron Man is trash, I can admit he had his downsides before when he was... This is Iron Man 1, but during the time he got older and older, like the more time has passed on, the more I saw like Tony Stark actually becoming a good person deep down inside. Yeah, sure, he was narcissistic at first, but to be honest, everyone is a jerk at times, once in their lifetimes. And Tony Stark, they say that he's a selfish person. Don't quote me on this. I don't know whether they say he's selfish or just not a really good hero. Think about this. He basically committed suicide in order to protect the world. Need I say more? I probably do need to say more, because so one of you guys will probably just try to trash me right now. None of that crap, none of that shit. But anyway, so we get to the whole point where Tony is, doing his own thing and actually going to Japan, which we get to the whole point of Deku. Now, Deku is still the same person, and here's what's going to happen. This is right after or right before the whole anime starts, but Deku is not an his father is an his father was an archaeologist, and so was her mother, until they died. Now, I know I'm killing them off too soon, but to be honest, I do that anyway. So, once Deku's parents dies, he doesn't know what to do. And the only thing he knows what to do is study. And he studies a bunch of things from BCE, that timeline. He sees the Athens and the Spartans and basically Norse mythology, Greek mythology, Chinese mythology, He sees different, things in the world, but none compared to the Spartans in his mind. He thinks that they're heroic. He's heard of the man known as Leonidas. Not only that, he's learned of... basically he's learned about a lot of things about Sparta. About how they were kind people. They were good people. And not only that, he saw a picture, and it was this picture right here. And a man holding a spear, and which I guess is which is, his name is Leonidas. I really don't know who that person is, and hopefully so that way I don't mess up on, but this was just a random fan art for from someone. I do not claim any of these two pictures right here, so disclaimer, but he studies up on, well, that kind of history. Now, he's in his own house. He has his own house, but it's not his. He works from time to time because he needs the money. Not only that, he needs to... How would I say this? This is a tough one, but he needs to somewhat fight every time. Because Bakugo, although he bullies him, doesn't compare to the people that bully him who knows about his parents. Not only that, knows about Deku being quirkless. And Deku fights for their honor. He fights because he knows that it's truly irritating to have someone make fun of people who are dead and you don't have any ties with them anymore. But it's mostly the fact that, yeah, you make fun of someone's dead parents, and not only that, you're bullying them, so of course they're going to fight you on this. And fight he does. He literally, well, he's fought before in the past. He's fought right now. He's fought during the time when, well, how would I say this? That's a tough one, but he's fought before. And how would I say this? I'm trying to find out how old he was, but I think he was 13. Hopefully so. I know I might be wrong on this, but what Deku does is just he sticks up for himself a little bit more, but he's still afraid. He has fear of the fact that he might get beaten up. Sure, he's mad, but at the same time, the fact that you're going to get punched or hit still sometimes messes with you. And Deku has just been pushed down to the point where he doesn't know what to do. And during that time, when he was supposed to talk to All Might says this because when he got captured, he says, "Thank you, All Might." And All Might says, "Ha ha ha, no worry, young man. By the way, what happened here? Where did he come from?" And I'm talking about the sludge villain. And this is when he talks to Deku, and Deku says, "Well, I don't know where he came from, but I know that, how would I say this? I know he just came out of the open. So, let's see. I'm sorry, I just don't know where he came from because I knew he came from the sewer." And this is when All Might says, "Ah, thank you, young man. I need to tell the people in the city to try to make some traps for people who come under sewer lines. But it's no problem at all. Now, I must go." And this is when Deku says, "Wait, hold on, All Might." And this is when he does the whole jumping thing. And here's the thing, the sludge villain is still there with him. So a bit of history has changed. Now, All Might says this. "Look, young man. I really don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but no. You cannot be a hero because you have no quirk." And this is when he brings up Iron Man, the hero from America. And this is when he says, "Iron Man, look, I understand. You want to be a hero, but it's hard for me to understand. Well, it's hard for you to understand because you're a child. But if I need to say this, I must. You cannot be a hero because you have no quirk. And if you have technology, then that may help you, but looking at you right now, it doesn't seem that you do. You need to find another hobby, kid. I'm sorry, but please forgive me. I don't know what I should say. Just know that if you one day do attempt it and you fail, just smile. So instead of giving him bad advice or telling him he's not going to make it, he says he will probably make it. He just needs to know that if he does fail, just smile. So he just says, well, young man, I guess it's time for me to go. But this is when he turns into a skinny form. And the whole thing with All Might talking to him about, yeah, this is not truly the All Might they know. It's more of it's Skinny Might. It's all, it's all, well, there's not a lot. So, yes. Here's the thing. Not Iron Man. Deku talks to All Might and he explains everything that had happened and saying that even he can't be a hero 24/7. So he's accepted it. And this is when Deku just says he understands. Now, Deku talks with his, technically talks to someone saying about the whole Comic-Con and saying Iron Man's going to be there. Oh, and not only that, All Might did sign his book. So Izuku says, well, it's going to be better than it's better than nothing. And not only that, I get to meet him, and there might be other heroes as well that might be cosplayed, so it might be good. So, when he goes over there, he sees a whole lot of people dressing up as heroes, monsters, and stuff. And he's only got at least 3 autographs. One from, let's say this, one from, I don't know, let's just some random heroes. And after all that, everything was good. But there was a mishap. You see, Comic-Con or places where people dress up and stuff have usually a lot of money due to, or as far as I know, due to the fact that they had to get themselves a lot of, like, they had to dress themselves up for a while. And a lot of, like, money and stuff for tickets and all that good stuff. Yeah, of course. Of course that would be the case for Izuku. Izuku just looks at what's happening, and basically he sees where, the whole Iron Man thing, the #1 hero in America, he talks to he gets an autograph from Tony Stark, and he says, hello, hey kid, how are you doing today? Is there something you need? And this is when he says, can I get an autograph? And he says, yeah, sure kid. There's nothing bad about that. Alright, here you go. So kid, what are you doing over here? And this is when he says he wanted to be a hero, but he was told because he didn't have a quirk, he probably was going to give up that thing, because the thing was, he knew that if he didn't have a quirk and stuff, he knew deep down inside. He just chose to he refused it. So when Deku talks to when Deku talks to let's see. When he talks to some of the people and even All Might, he knew that he would have to get himself a job since he knew deep down inside this was going to be a thing. He was actually just going to apply to at least see the heroes and, you know, be at least some kind of staff helper. You know, even though he was in school, you can work at the school even though you're a student. So this way he can actually meet some of the, you know, students that are going to be in UA, and Bakugo still bullies him. By the way, let's just get that out of the way. Bakugo still bullies him, and even though he accepts it, he does still sign up for the hero thingy. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And not only that, he does fight. Izuku does fight, but he always loses. But he's starting to learn how to, like, you know, starting to bob and weave, somewhat learning, well, different kinds of martial arts. And not only that, he's learning Spartan traditional fighting. Because I for one like Spartans. I think they're awesome. So for me, that's a bonus. Now, when that whole thing happened, basically there was a robbery coming up, and Deku did not know what to do. Iron Man and three other heroes started to fight, and this is when at least about a good 20 people was trying to shoot up the place, trying to at least attack him, and they were trying to grab a bunch of people and like trying to take them away, so that way they can like get like some kind of hostages. Now, Deku knew this. He was going to be targeted because he has no quirk, and someone was trying to chase him down. So what Deku did, he saw an exhibit. He saw the part where Tony Stark was showing people the inside of a suit, and he was joking around saying, like, people were asking, "Wait, can they ride the suit?" And this is when Iron Man said, "No." This is when Tony said, "No, you can't ride the suit. This suit is He basically lied and said this suit is not a real suit. It's a dummy suit. So Deku knew that wasn't a good suit to use, but he thought of this: if he just takes that suit and someone gets inside of it and hides in there, no one's going to believe that someone's inside of a dummy. Probably not. We don't know because, you know, Deku actually being inside there says, "Oh wow, this is actually pretty cool. I could see only a little bit of things, and I can only see in these holes." And this is when basically the suit closes on him, and he says, "I think I actually took out a latching mechanism." Thinking to himself, "Oh crap, I actually got inside of a suit, and now I'm stuck in here." And this is when everybody is like, you know, shooting down at stuff, and somebody actually sees that Deku's inside the suit, and they're actually trying to get him out, saying that if this is the real deal, if a kid got in there, they could possibly get in there, but they don't know how to get inside. And this is when Deku is just getting attacked. Now, what is the other heroes and Iron Man doing? They're taking care of the like high class people, the ones that are actually strong and stuff. So we'll say muscular. Let's see, different other heroes who have different quirks, and basically, you know, different things. I don't know how to explain it, but there's just villains with quirks. So when Deku was trying to like just pretend he's not there, they're all like, "We could see you, you idiots. Get out of that suit and just come with us. No one's gonna get hurt." And this is when Deku is pretty much scared. And a guy with a lightning quirk basically says this: "Kid, you're inside of a suit of iron. What would happen? What would happen if I were to just use my abilities on this thing?" And this is when Deku says, "What do you mean?" And he says, "So you are there. Now, I'm going to count to 5. And if you're not out of here, we're going to electrocute the suit." And this is when Deku says, "Wait a minute, wait, what?" 1. He says, "Wait, hold on, let me just try to get out." 2. Oh boy, I have 3 seconds. Let me just try to find out. 5. And he just shoots out so much electricity into the suit that it electrocutes Izuku as well, somewhat getting his body so charged up, exerting so much power within Izuku that Izuku's not getting knocked out and waking up at the same time. It's as if his whole body is going through some kind of weird loop. And Izuku just somewhat feels this strain inside of him. And this is when he remembers so many things about his past. Now, I'm not going to say he's a reincarnation of somebody, but he is the son of a badass, sort of say. And he does remember some things. I'm not going to put that all out there, but yeah, he's just somewhat different. And when he sees like he's about to die, Deku somewhat just tries to get out, but the suit is actually being charged up to its maximum, and the suit wakes up by itself and saying, "Protocol 3, protect the pilot, or protect the person in the suit." And actually, the robot punches freaking the guy with the the electrocuting bolt, or the lightning quirk. And this is when Deku just somewhat is starting to fly, and he's maintaining composure because he feels so scared after being electrocuted for so much. I think concentrating to a weird degree is something that's normal. And basically, Deku just has to have a fight or flight mode. He chooses flight. Not knowing what to do, he just instinctively just flies towards one of the guys and actually just punches him in the face. And after that, he's starting to realize how the suit works, reading everything that is shown to him, from lasers in his hands to lasers on his chest to mini missiles to, well, basically a flying mode, and the fact that he's in armor. So this is when he just grabs technically a flag, and actually just slams it into one of the what's called villains and shoots it as hard as he can to Muscular. And after that, flying and all that stuff, he starts to somewhat just charge in and hits a bunch of people. Tony Stark is looking at him and saying, "Wait, who is this kid?" And they're like, "Well, whatever he's doing, he's technically helping us, so right now we'll deal with him later." Wait a minute, that's my suit. Gosh, I hope whoever's in there, yeah, this is going to be an awkward day for me. And it's just starting to keep flying and stuff. And after a couple of minutes, it was actually much more helpful than having four lower class and 1 higher class hero. But in the very end, the job gets done, but Izuku does get smashed into the head or into his chest by Muscular because, yeah, it didn't kill him, but it still got him. And another guy was actually trying to grab him, but Deku, without thinking about it, just tries to push his face out of the way, unknowing that he just shot out a cannon towards, the guy's face, and just basically shot it off. Muscular was just freaking out because, oh gosh, that was just destructive. Now, after all that, Tony Stark just sees what happens, and Deku is Deku is crapping his pants. And basically he says, whoa, hold on here, hold on. And they're all like, wait a minute, hold on. What do you mean, hold on? He just killed somebody. And he says, look, he doesn't know how the suit works, so I don't think he or she would have killed him. And this is when Deku is getting out of the suit, and somewhat is just freaking out. And this is when he's flying very weirdly, and this is when he's on his feet, but right now he's just like afraid. And this is when he talks to Jarvis, which is still inside the system. Now, this is when Jarvis says, well, here's the recording. And after that, he sees what has happened. Now, the suit records anything, even if he's not there. So that way, there could be a system in place where he could actually record people doing things illegally and stuff, even if his suit's not on. He finds out about the whole, being electrocuted to death, and the fact that he's fighting, and the thing was accidentally charged because his hands were just flailing around, so he doesn't know what to do. He just says that the kid's afraid, and Tony just says, hey kid, look at me. No, look at me, come on, there we go. Now, I know you're afraid. I'm 100% understanding right now what has happened. And let me just tell you right now, you have nothing to be afraid about. You shouldn't have any fear at all. You were scared. I understand that. Just calm down. We're not your enemy. We're not your enemy whatsoever. You made a mistake. We all make those. And Deku is just stuttering because he just got electrocuted. So he doesn't know what to say, but he's just trying to get the words out. And basically Jarvis says, well, Master Stark, if I could put my 2 cents in. Go ahead, Jarvis. Well, it seems that right now he's at a state of mind where his head is a little fried. And this is when he says, alright, well, activate cooling systems. And basically Jarvis does that within the suit and starts to cool down his body by making it almost feel like it's freezing to death. And this is when Deku just passes out. The heroes say, what should they do? And here's the thing. Heroes in America technically can kill the people. Now, if there's a system in place where they can kill, but if they kill, there has to be a good reason about this. They can't just kill for, oh yeah, I stopped this guy and I shot him to death. There we go. No, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. So, that's something right there. But anyway, Deku is pretty much awake, and Tony has him in a little office right now, saying, "Yup, buddy." And well, after all that stuff has happened, it's pretty much it's pretty much that. There's nothing I can say about that. Yeah, I'm actually pretty it's pretty cut and dry right there. It's just he almost died, and well, there's really nothing that much to say besides Tony Stark saying, "How you doing, kid? You feeling good? Deku's saying, my head hurts. And this is when he says, well, of course, yeah, your head hurts. You got electrocuted with so much power in you that we didn't know what to do with the energy. So, we put something inside of you, which is actually a battery, kind of like how Stark is, but this thing actually gave Izuku some kind of power. When he got electrocuted, he was, well, for some reason, it awakened a quirk that was, it was genetic, but it's not genetic, because he wasn't supposed to have a quirk. It just somewhat charged him up to have a quirk, which his quirk is just charge. Basically a bunch of kinetic energy within his body, somewhat charged up just to somewhat have it stay there. And while fighting, it showed that, well, it's a tough one to say. It really is a tough one to say. I don't know how to say this, but he is there, but he's no longer there. His power somewhat was awakened, but it's not a power anymore. It somewhat is its own thing. He charged up a bunch of energy, which somewhat powered up the suits, which was supposed to be deactive, but it somewhat broke that part. So yeah, now Deku is somewhat being told by Stark that it's alright. He understands everything that has happened right now, and he wouldn't put it past him to feel afraid. So, what Deku does is pretty much look at him and say, so, I'm in trouble. And this is when Stark says, yeah, in a way, he didn't mean to do it, but this is a tough one. And this is when he says, I can't call your parents because I don't know what's your number. Or their number. Can you actually tell me what their number is? And this is when he says, sorry, but I don't have parents. And this is when he says, oh, okay, so, what do you want to do? This is when Deku says, I'm not sure, but I gotta go home. Thank you, Mr. Stark. And this is when he walks away, and it kind of sucks because he doesn't have any parents of his own right now, and Stark knew someone like him in a way. And this is when he thinks to himself like, I don't know what to do. And this is when Jarvis says, well, you could adopt him. And this is when he says, wait, what? Yeah, adopt him. And he says, no, don't say that. Why should I adopt him? Think about it. I'm not father material. Well, yeah, of course you weren't father material in the past, but look at you. You treated someone like they were your own child. And this is when he says, who was that? Parker. And this is when he says, ah, gosh. It's been so long since I talked to them. I don't know what to do anymore. So, gosh. And this is when Jarvis says, well, you know what? Let me just do this right here. And here's the thing. They pretty much did some kind of, Jarvis filled out paperwork right now on behalf of Deku and on Stark. After that, Stark says, what did you do? And Jarvis says, well, I made you a daddy. And this is when he says, don't you say that. Don't you say that, that's weird. And wait a minute, you made me what now? And this is when he says, Now you are the legal guardian or the legal father of that young child. So, just you gotta do what you gotta do. And this is when he says, "Why? Why did you do that? I told you right now. I don't know if I'm father material." And this is when he says, "Well, you're not. You don't have the love of your life, right? You don't have the love of your life right now. So it's better than no one. And besides, what's the worst that's going to happen?" And this is when he says, gosh. Why? There was no need for this to happen. And Jarvis says, on the contrary, well, you'll at least have a fun time with them. And this is when Stark says, you know, I hate you for this. And Jarvis is laughing a little bit, saying, well, it doesn't matter anymore, Dad. And Tony just says, you mother. And we get to the whole point where he is, you know, going to Deku. And this is when Deku is riding his bike. Iron Man is flying around him and says, hey kid, Izuku Midoriya? And this is when he says, wait a minute, Iron Man? And he's, well, technically Tony says yes. And I heard about you, after you told me about this, I decided to see if you were worthy enough to actually take my place. So from now on, you're going to be living with me. And this is when Deku says, wait, what? I couldn't possibly do that. You're the #1 hero in America. And this is when Tony says, yes, I am. But after seeing what you did, you technically helped us out at a young age. Not only that, even though you didn't mean to kill someone, you at least took action upon that and started to fight. Let me tell you right now, it takes guts to do what you did. The fact that you're going to live with that burden, well, I gotta be the one who helps you out. So, whether or not you like it, I'm going to be the one who, well, I'm going to be the one who helps you, whether you like it or not. So, just come with me. And this is when he says, well, I have to get my stuff, and no need. I already got that taken care of. And there's a couple of movers that he says that he's called. So yeah, now, a month later, there's a new Iron Man in town. And it's Deku, flying around with a cape. Well, technically he has a weirder model on him, since after a month, Deku has been training with the suit. And not only that, his new ability, which somewhat was called charge or kinetic charge, which he has both electrocuting powers that can electrocute someone, and, well, something that actually, if he gets punched enough times, or if he stores up a lot of physical power, he can use that as his ultimate punch, or anything like that. He still takes damage, but he also has an electrocuting charge, which charges up kinetic energy and turns it into a weird energy that, well, electrocutes you. So, yeah. Now, after all that, I'm actually going to end it off here. because I'm going to have to do part 3 to what if Aaron Yeager was the reincarnation of Mamoru Uchiha, and other things as well. So, I hope you liked it. And yeah, remember, shout out to Lasto, Patrick, and Loki. So anyway, like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout with a Fear. Bye.